Stick Season 1, Episode 3 Recap. Owen Wilson's Stick kicked off strong, but there are still some lingering questions after the first few episodes of this quirky golf comedy. Episode 3 dives into Sandy's, played by Peter Dagger, debut tournament in the amateur golf world, while the rest of the crew tries to find their rhythm. Elena, Mariana Trevino, and Mitzi, Mark Maron, struggle to see eye to eye, and things don't go smoothly between Price, Owen Wilson, and Sandy either. Despite a lukewarm reception on Rotten Tomatoes, Stick is shaping up to be one of Wilson's most promising shows yet. This episode wraps up many of the early introductions, but sets up plenty for the rest of the season. The tension between Price and Sandy isn't over yet, and Elena and Mitzi still have some growing to do as they navigate life on the road. Plus, a few scenes left us with more questions than answers, especially around some of the characters' backstories. There's more to uncover, and Episode 3 hints that what's ahead could be just as entertaining as what we've seen so far. One of the biggest shakeups in Stick Season 1, Episode 3 is the arrival of Zero, played by Lily Kay. From the start, it's clear, Zero's a force to be reckoned with. They don't take crap from anyone and aren't shy about their dislike for Price. That tension could stir things up, especially since Price's coaching style is, well, let's just say unconventional. But while sparks may fly, Zero might actually be just what Sandy needs. Price has said it before, Sandy gets stuck in his own head, and Zero could be the one to help him find focus and mental clarity. There's even a strong possibility Zero joins the crew, Price, Sandy, Elena, and Mitzi, for the rest of the amateur tour. After all, Sandy crushed the back nine, going 8 under par right after his talk with Zero. Price might see that and realize Zero could be a secret weapon, kind of a calming Cecilia figure for Sandy. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. There's obvious chemistry between Zero and Sandy, and if that heats up, it might complicate things, especially with Elena watching from the sidelines. Even though Sandy walked away with the win, he wanted nothing to do with Price. After trying to dodge him, Sandy finally snapped and told his coach to K off. Stick does a solid job showing why Sandy was so angry, but there's more going on beneath the surface than what Elena let on. The real issue? Price was starting to sound a lot like Sandy's dad. Elena explained that Sandy's father used to tear him down whenever he played poorly, and Price's harsh reaction to Sandy's rough front nine hit a nerve. That kind of pressure is exactly why Sandy quit golf in the first place. And now, here it was again. But Price's intensity wasn't the only thing fueling Sandy's frustration. While venting to Zero, they called Price out for exploiting him, a word that seemed to stick with Sandy. Add in his own ego after winning the tournament without Price's help, and you've got a kid who feels like he doesn't need anyone. And let's not forget, Sandy is still a teenager. Sometimes, blowing up at authority figures just comes with the territory. The first few episodes of Stick hint at Mitzi's backstory, but they never quite say it outright. He's a widower, and the loss of his wife still lingers beneath the surface. We don't get the full story of what happened to her, but the show drops just enough clues to piece some of it together. In a quiet moment, Mitzi tells Price that he bought his RV to travel to all the national parks with his wife, but that dream ended when she passed. Later, he tells Elena that he's cranky because the RV was supposed to be their shared adventure, not something he'd be doing alone. From the way he talks about it, it sounds like her death came suddenly. If it had been something they saw coming, like a long illness, Mitzi probably wouldn't have gone through with buying the RV, or he might have hit the road with her while he still had the chance. We still don't know if it was an accident, an illness, or something else entirely, but it clearly caught him off guard. And even now, her absence shapes who he is. Mitzi calls himself rude, and we see him grumble and push people away, but behind that ornery exterior is someone still carrying a lot of grief. One of the more puzzling moments in Stick Episode 3 was Price's decision to bet on Sandy's very first tournament. Earlier in the day, Price told Sandy that the tournament didn't matter, win or lose, it was just practice. Even Mitzi called it a meaningless event. But behind the scenes, Price had money riding on the outcome, and when Sandy struggled on the front nine, Price lost his cool. That outburst created serious tension between the two, and the root of it? Price's financial troubles, and a growing gambling problem he's clearly not dealing with. Stick has quietly, but consistently, shown Price's money issues, from his broken-down house to stacks of unpaid parking tickets. And his gambling? It's been part of his story since episode 1, where he hustled a bar full of guys out of $1,000. Price betting on Sandy wasn't just about faith in his player, it was desperation. And if he doesn't get a handle on it, his gambling could not only cost him money, but also his fragile relationship with Sandy. As Stick Season 1 moves forward, it's looking more and more likely that Price's biggest opponent might not be on the golf course. It might be himself.